Hey everyone, Joe here. Welcome to the channel. So you purchased a brand new car, which is a significant investment, and you want to increase the longevity of this investment. Proper maintenance is critical. One often overlooked but crucial aspect of car maintenance, in my opinion, as well as many other professionals, is changing your engine oil initially at between 500 and 1,000 miles. Some people will say modern engines don't need it, while others swear by it. So what's the deal? The short answer, it's not always necessary, but there are some really good reasons why it can be a smart move, especially if you're planning to keep your car, like I said, long term or want to ensure top-notch performance. In this video, I'm going to explain why it's important and show some real-world data proving this. When an engine is brand new, it goes through what's called a break-in period. This is when the internal components like the pistons, rings, and bearings are wearing in and seating themselves properly. Think of it like wearing a new pair of shoes, but here's the catch. During this process, tiny metal particles can shear off and mix with the engine oil. In addition, during the manufacturing process, metal shavings are produced and coolant often applied to the cutting tools, which contaminates the engine component being machined. Now, processes have been developed to clean these engine components thoroughly, but you can't tell me that the component isn't 100% clean 100% of the time. Then there is the assembly lube and sealant that might have gotten in during the manufacturing process. And let's not forget that new vehicles can sit on the lot a long period, sometimes 6 months to over a year. So alright, to prove my point, we're going to pull an oil sample from a 2025 Chevy Equinox, purchased brand new and driven and currently sitting at 614 miles. But first, let's take it for a short drive to warm up the oil and get the contaminants suspended. Now this is a fleet car, so I will not be changing the oil myself, but I will pull a sample through the dipstick. And I'm using this pump I bought off Amazon. Works really well. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in purchasing. And here's just a quick visual. The oil on the left is virgin oil straight out of the bottle, and then the right hand side is the sample we pulled from the Equinox. And you can clearly see, even after only 614 miles, it's starting to look dirty. Alright, so I will be sending the used oil sample to Blackstone Laboratories. I've used them in some of my other videos in the past for used oil analysis. In those videos, I'm comparing different brands of oil such as Mobil, Amsoil, Valvoline, Amsoil. So if you're interested, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll also leave a link in the description. Now, before I jump into the oil analysis report for the Equinox, I just want to quickly review the wear elements that are typically found and measured in the oil, and also take a look at a few oil analysis reports from previous vehicles that I had tested, just to use it as a comparison. So moving over to the Blackstone website, if you come down here to wear elements, you'll see these are all elements that are measured in the report. The aluminum, iron, copper are probably the most common, with the aluminum coming from your pistons, bearings, engine block, and heads. Iron coming from your cylinders and camshaft and crankshaft. And copper from your bushings and bearings. And again, just to use for comparison, here is a report on an F-150. As you can see here, I've done quite a few oil tests in the past. The most recent one being in this column here, 136,000 miles. There was 6,144 miles on the oil when tested. And you can kind of see here, this is all in parts per million. So aluminum, we had 5 parts per million, iron 6, copper 2. And it seemed to be pretty steady here across the board. Taking a look at another vehicle, this is a Jeep Grand Cherokee, 47,000 miles, most recent oil change. Aluminum, 3 parts per million, iron 7, copper 1. And here is a Chevy Trax, most recent oil change at 84,000 miles, at 6,500 miles on the oil. Aluminum was 7 parts per million, iron 9, and copper 1. And again, pretty consistent. Now those 3 vehicles are all well past the break-in period. 3 different engines, 3 different drivers. So just wanted to show you again what's kind of typical as far as wear elements in an engine. So let's go ahead and pull up the report on the Equinox. Here we have aluminum 6 parts per million, chromium 1 part, iron 12, copper 24. So you can see quite a bit higher than the previous vehicles I showed you. And again, this oil only has 614 miles on it. Now Blackstone will typically leave a comment in their reports, and I'll go ahead and read this. There's some extra copper and silicone in this sample, but that's normal for newer engines as parts tend to make more metal as they're wearing in. And there's usually excess silicone sealer from when the engine was put together. A few oil changes should wash out all the extra stuff, and then you'll have a better idea of how this engine is actually wearing. So that's it. A simple oil change at 500 miles could save you a ton in the long run. Let me know in the comments, do you swear by early oil changes or do you think they're unnecessary? With that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. If you enjoyed it, please like and share. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.